Officials think this could be the largest gang takedown in history in the borough of Queens, and Fox 5 was given exclusive access as it happened. The Queens District Attorney, along with the NYPD Chief of Detectives, announcing the 151-count indictment of 33 alleged gang members. Officials say all 33 defendants are charged with conspiracy to commit murder, and that 18 of those were active trigger pullers. They say the defendants are members of warring gangs trying to establish territorial dominance in Southeast Queens. The gun violence escalated after the high-profile murder of an aspiring high school basketball star 4 years ago.
Well, the gang war was set off by a slashing in April of 2019. The tensions and the violence between the warring factions escalated after the murder of 14-year-old Amir Griffin in October of 2019.
Throughout this investigation, it was determined that members of these gangs intended to commit murder and shoot opposing gang members based solely on their alliances and territorial disputes.
30 guns, you see them there, they were seized in this gang takedown. But before today's sweeping indictment was announced against members of two violent street gangs, our own Lisa Evers was embedded with the operation as NYPD detectives rounded up the suspects. And she's here now to bring us this Fox 5 exclusive. Lisa, take it away.
Well, Chris, this long-term investigation began with the murder of a promising teen basketball player. Now, nearly 4 years later, NYPD detectives tell us they have dismantled two rival gangs who terrorized South Jamaica residents with reckless gunfire, using drill music videos and social media to fuel their beefs. We got an exclusive look at their focused methods, which are very different from the wide-net gang sweeps of the past. Some of the more than 30 suspects were already behind bars in state prison and on Rikers Island for other crimes. They were brought into the 111th precinct to be charged in this major gang conspiracy case. So serious were the safety concerns about the explosive rivalry between the crews known as Money World and their opposition or ops, the local trap stars, that police booked them in separate precincts to keep their family members and associates separated when they showed up.
It's pretty much shoot on sight when they see the opposition. And a lot of times innocent people are caught in the middle of it.
Over the last 5 or 6 years, these two gangs terrorized the entire community.
Before sunrise, more than 150 NYPD detectives and supervisors assembled for the takedown of the alleged gang members. Most are between the ages of 18 to 22 and have been arrested before.
This started in the Baisley.
Guys, this is only the beginning.
Shot and killed.
Mark my words. This is only the beginning.
14-year-old Amir Griffin, a Cardozo High School student athlete, was the unintended target of a shooting. He was killed on the basketball courts near his home. 18-year-old Sean Brown was arrested for the murder and is part of this case.
That could have been me. It could be my cousins, my nephews. I mean, it's just sad that had to happen, but today, we have justice for the family.
As detectives investigated, they found a connection to other shootings that were happening in South Jamaica. Some were in broad daylight, one even outside a high school. Police say an escalating rivalry between the Money World and local trap star gangs was responsible.
Once a shooting occurs and there's retaliation for that shooting, it goes back and forth. And it seems like they're never satisfied with the amount of violence they've committed, and they're always trying to get one up on their opposition.
Captain Gillis says the rivalry is over territory, not money or drugs. The hatred heated up over social media taunts and drill music videos where they allegedly bragged about the shootings, the actual locations, and even the calibers of guns used in incidents under investigation.
The drill rap is always a motivator, right? And the drill rap is so specific in that they mention people that have been killed in the past and disrespect those people that have been killed in the past. And it creates a residual effect where it's tit for tat or one for one. Everyone's trying to get one up on the scoreboard. That creates a retaliatory effect on both sides.
Chief, you have a lot of members of the NYPD here. Who is here and involved in this operation?
Yeah, so this operation involves members of the Detective Bureau. In particular, there's two different units. It's called Queens South VCS,
And in addition to that, it's a gun violence suppression unit.
What's happening here right now is you see different groups getting together. They're getting their assignments, and they're also getting their orders from their superiors about how they're going to do this raid, how they're going to take these suspects in. Detectives from local precincts, as well as warrants, homicide, and narcotics units, provided backup and were involved in the tactical attack meeting to review strategy.
Most of you guys know which your position is going to be on the team. We're going to move in tactically. We're going to take our time when we get into the location. Make sure we communicate.
Before we go out, they asked me and my cameraman to take precautions too. So they're giving us bulletproof vests because many of the suspects that they're going after today have been pre-indicted on very serious gun charges. Some are actually accused of murder. We head out onto the highway towards South Jamaica. We're part of an NYPD caravan right now going to the various locations where detectives will be apprehending the suspects in this case. We arrive at the house. The detectives surround it according to plan, while others do a door knock and go in with a warrant for the suspect. The detectives were able to find the person that they were looking for. They have taken this suspect in custody. They were in the house. They came out. No shots have been fired. This suspect, who is wanted for murder, is brought in to be booked. Another team returns with a suspect who wasn't part of the original case. Police say he panicked and threw this gun out the window while the officers were looking for someone else.
Get that my face, my.
The NYPD says this case, like others in recent years, shows that when they do sharply focused investigations and take the most violent offenders off the streets, the surrounding communities experience a drop in gun violence.
These guys did horrific violence out in the streets of South Jamaica. So it's a victory for the community today that these guys are actually all apprehended.
Countless acts, several homicides, non-fatal shootings, incidents of gunfire throughout the community absolutely took its toll. And I'm happy that we were able to deliver a clear message today that won't be tolerated.
Right.
Of course, all of the suspects are presumed innocent until proven guilty, but the NYPD says they have more than enough evidence to support the charges so that they will not be able to shoot anyone again for a very long time. Chris?
Wow, Lisa.
Right. Right. Well, this goes to show that they're making a prime example. This is their prime example. This is their start. Open y'all eyes up. Pay attention. They're not going to just keep sitting back and letting y'all do what y'all doing. Killing people. They going to get they proof, they receipts, they videos, and they going to come gather you up in groups. Y'all see what they doing, and don't think it's like it's a shock to y'all, because y'all know what y'all doing. Let that sink in for a lot of y'all. Let it sink in.
Sometimes you'll find yourself in an arena.
With that takedown of accused gang members in Brooklyn, 21 arrests in what's been called a reign of terror that left 2 people dead and 4 others hurt. This comes on the heels of a shocking rise in the number of shootings in the city last month. CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer has details.
The gunman in this video, gang name Bones, Zidon Clark, reportedly thought he was firing at a rival gang member. Turns out he allegedly shot an innocent 15-year-old, Rohan Levy, in a case of mistaken identity. Gangbanger Khalil Irving firing random warning shots at his neighbors. Kamari Porter doing the same thing. And this is Travis LaRock sitting on a subway, slowly putting...
And they all on camera. Like they can't be gotten. No mask, no nothing, laughing. Like this is what they do. This is what they was brought up to do. And it's all on cameras. Like, y'all think this live not going, like they don't look at these lives and pay attention. All the that's all they do is sit at their desk and look at a live. Behind the screens. Looking at y'all lives.
Putting bullets into his weapon. All part of a gangland reign of terror in Flatbush, East Flatbush, and Canarsie that law enforcement officials say has been going on for years.
Imagine the fear that you would have sitting on that train seeing these young men loading guns.
Shockingly, Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez says that the subway incident occurred just a few hours before the same man reported killed a rival gang member. The video is released as part of a massive indictment of
other one was in Jamaica,
feuding for years with the violent Bloods and Crips.
This brazen and disturbing conduct must come to an end.
Officials say the defendants ranged in age from 17 to 41.
It's a group of young gang members who were ready, willing, and able to use firearms to attack rival gang members and commit other violent crimes like robbery.
But while violence was an apparent way of life, officials said they didn't always know why.
They have no historical knowledge of what started this feud in the first place. They just know that they're expected to shoot at and attempt to kill rival opposition gang members. This is how pointless, this is how impersonal this gang culture is.
The gang takedown, part of a joint operation with the NYPD.
This is at the core of what we do every day with precision policing. We have zero tolerance for people that are going to carry illegal firearms on the streets of this city.
Well, officials said that the cases were harder to make because one of the many ploys that the gang members used was dismantling the guns they carry, because then they can't be arrested for gun possession if the weapon is inoperable. Dana.
They cracking down, and they gonna keep cracking down on all these gangs. Every last one of them. And y'all so stupid and dumb that y'all all on a damn camera with it. All on live with it. What that say? 32 alleged gang members arrested and take down in New York City. Now this is New York City. One's Jamaica, one Brooklyn, New York. Right. Okay. Well, and this one New York too. Brooklyn. And what is this? 110 arrests and large gang takedown in NYC history. New York City, huh? That's the same one. Let's see what they talking about on this one. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Give me 1 second. It's getting ridiculous with these dang on so-called gangs out here. It's getting ridiculous. And y'all just doing the stupidest ass shit. The stupidest shit. Stupidest shit.
Gangs were arrested today in a stunning takedown by the Brooklyn District Attorney and the NYPD.
CBS 2's political reporter Marsha Kramer says the gangs are accused of operating out of public housing and often stalk their enemies in broad daylight.
It is a video that explains the urgency of law enforcement officials to arrest nearly 36 violent, gun-happy members of the Wu and Cho Street gangs. A gang member in a black hoodie opens fire in broad daylight, and a man putting his child into a car. He thinks the man is a rival, but he misses that man. Instead, hits an innocent 3-year-old leaving daycare.
She suffered a direct hit into the shoulder area of her body.
Believe it or not, the next day the gangbanger bragged about it, posting this video, ironically from a story on CBS 2, in a private chat.
These individuals want to get credit.
Then he needs to get caught. Right.
Doing.
DA Gonzalez and Police Commissioner Keyshawn Sewell announced
That's
the arrest of
ridiculous.
13 members of the Wu Gang and 19 members of the Cho Gang that operated out of neighboring housing complexes in Brownsville. The charges included conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to possess weapons, attempted murder, reckless endangerment, and weapons possession. Officials said that the 106 counts in 4 separate indictments, including 27 incidents, 2 homicides, and 17 non-fatal shootings that wounded 14 people, including innocent bystanders.
Just
More than
ridiculous.
25 guns
A
were
child
used,
is
and
right
many
there.
of the
He's
shooters
still
were captured
shooting.
on surveillance videos, many in broad daylight.
Consider the following ages: 62, 60, 17, 17, and 3. These are ages of victims that were shot during this investigation. This is the wisdom and the
I'm gonna say that it's just senseless, senseless acts
due to the just sheer disrespect for life that these gangs show.
Police Commissioner Keyshawn Sewell called it
indiscriminate violence that terrorized the residents of 10 different housing developments. We have taken these criminals off our streets, and together we will endeavor to keep them off.
Officials say there was so much animosity between these 2 rival gangs that they continued squabbling after they were arrested and brought to central booking. In Brooklyn, I'm Marsha Kramer, CBS 2 News.
That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It's ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. Ridiculous.